Have you ever, stopped to really think about the industries behind everyday things? Stuff you just grab?
Without a second thought, usually.
Exactly, like the little cap on your milk or juice carton, that twisty spout thing?
The Gable top cap.
Right. Seems tiny, but there's this huge, multi-million-dollar global market just for that. So today, that's our deep dive, the global Gable top cap enclosures market.
Mhm.
Our mission, really, is to help you see past the raw numbers, pull out the key trends, and show you where the real growth story is.
Okay, let's dive straight in then. Big picture first.
Please.
All right, so cognitive market research puts this market at just over $118 million back in 2021.
Okay, $118 million.
Yeah, but it's definitely moving. Projected to hit over $143 million by 2025.
Wow.
And then keeps climbing to, wait for it, almost $210 million by 2033.
200 million.
Yeah, which works out to a compound annual growth rate, the CAGR, of nearly 4.9%, almost 5% growth year on year.
That's pretty substantial for something so specific. Really shows you the scale of these background economies.
Absolutely.
And I guess the fascinating part, what we're getting into now, is where that growth is happening around the world, that regional breakdown.
Exactly. The picture varies quite a bit.
Okay, so let's unpack this. Maybe start with North America. What's the story there?
Right, North America, that's a big piece of the pie, no surprise. Valued at just over $30 million in 2021.
30 million. Okay.
And it's projected to grow steadily. Should reach almost $50 million by 2033,
Okay.
which is a solid 4.2% CAGR for the region.
And within that, the U.S. is the giant, I assume?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
The U.S. leads the charge with about $25 million, that initial $30 million.
Right.
And that's projected to grow to over $40 million by 2033. Still a strong growth rate, about 4.1%.
Interesting, though, looking at the numbers here, it looks like Canada's growth rate, the CAGR, is actually a bit higher, over 5%.
That's a sharp observation. Yeah,
Yeah.
Canada's market is smaller, starting around $2.6 million. But it's projected to hit nearly $4.8 million by 2033, growing at 5.1%, a bit faster.
Any thoughts on why? Maybe faster uptake of new packaging?
Could be,
Yeah.
or maybe specific sectors growing faster, like organic milk or specialty juices, perhaps. Hard to say just from these numbers, but it is noticeable.
And Mexico.
Mexico's showing healthy growth, too. Started at around $2.5 million, looking to reach over $4 million by 2033. That's a CAGR of about 4.4%. So solid contribution to the region's total.
Okay, interesting. Let's hop across the Atlantic. Europe. More established market, right? What's the narrative there? Stable growth or any surprises?
Europe's definitely significant. It was around $23.4 million back in 2021.
23 million. Okay.
Projected growth takes it to about $39 million by 2033. So it's keeping pace with a pretty healthy regional CAGR of 4.4%.
Similar to North America, basically.
Very similar overall growth rate, yeah. But what's interesting, like you said, is looking inside the region.
Right, where does it get interesting?
Well, Germany, for example. It's projected to hit over $9 million by 2025 alone. That's with a strong CAGR of just over 5%.
So Germany's growing faster than the regional average?
Looks like it, yeah. And the UK is also showing strong expansion. It started at under $4 million, but it's projected to reach over $6.5 million by 2033. That's a 4.7% CAGR. So still plenty of dynamism in these key economies.
So even in these mature markets, there's definite movement. What about France and Italy?
Also growing steadily. France is looking at about $4.4 million by 2025, growing at nearly 3.8%. Italy, around $4.1 million by 2025, with the growth rate just over 4%.
Okay.
And then you've got others contributing too, Spain's growing well, over 4.7% CAGR, projected to reach $3.1 million by 2025. 4.6% CAGR.
Any other notable ones in Europe?
Let's see. Russia's growth is a bit more modest, projected $1.77 million by 2025, under 3% CAGR. Denmark, about $1.35 million, 4% growth. Switzerland, $1.74 million, 3.7%. Even Luxembourg shows up around $0.37 million.
Wow. Comprehensive.
Yeah, the rest of Europe category adds another $4.3 million or so by 2025, growing at 4.4%. So overall, a very robust picture across the continent.
Okay, good overview of Europe. Now let's shift focus to Asia Pacific. Often the growth engine, right? Is that the case here too?
Oh, absolutely. Asia Pacific, or APAC, is really driving things.
Yeah.
It was already the largest market in 2021, over $47 million.
47 million. bigger than North America and Europe combined,
Yeah,
nearly.
pretty much. And it's not just the biggest, it's also the fastest growing globally.
Okay.
Projected to hit over $58 million by 2025 and then surge to over $90 million by 2033.
90 million.
Yep, that's the highest regional SGR we see, nearly 5.5%.
And within APAC, China must be huge.
China's dominant, yes. Started at over $14 million in 2021.
Uh-huh.
It's projected to hit $17.7 million by 2025 and over $27.5 million by 2033, growing strong at about 5.7% CGR.
Okay, impressive numbers. But you mentioned fastest growing.
Yeah.
Is that China?
Good question. While China's growth is strong, the real surge, the highest individual country growth rate globally, is actually India.
India. Okay, tell me about that.
India's figures are remarkable. It starts at about $7.4 million in 2021,
Right.
but it's projected to more than double, reaching over $15 million by 2033. That's a CAGR of over 6.2%.
It's 0.2%. Wow, what's driving that, do you think? Just massive population and economic shift?
It has to be a combination, right?
Right.
Rapidly growing middle class, huge increases in consumption of, say, packaged dairy and juices, plus the development of local packaging infrastructure to meet that demand. It's a major economic transformation story reflected even in these small components.
That really puts it in perspective. What about other key APAC players? Japan.
Japan's still very significant, projected to be around $13.5 million by 2025, growing at a healthy 4.8% CAGR.
Okay.
And then you have others showing really strong growth, too. South Korea, around $7.8 million by 2025, almost 4.9% CGR. Australia, $4.3 million, about 4.3% growth. But look at Singapore and Southeast Asia.
Yeah.
Singapore's projected figure is smaller, $2.2 million by 2025, but the growth rate is nearly 6%.
Wow.
And Southeast Asia collectively, over $7 million by 2025, with a KGR over 6%. So really dynamic growth
The
there.
T1 too looks solid.
Yep, Taiwan's contributing over $4 million by 2025 with a 5.1% CAGR, and the rest of APAC adds another almost $8 million. It's just growth across the board.
Incredible picture in APAC. Okay, let's move on. South America, what's its story?
South America shows really promising growth as well. Started over $7 million in 2021,
Okay.
projected to reach nearly $9 million by 2025, and then about $13.5 million by 2033. That's a regional KGR of over 5.1%.
It's growing faster than North America and Europe on
A
average.
little bit faster, yeah.
Yeah.
Brazil is the leader there, as you might expect.
Figures for Brazil.
Started around $2.8 million, projected to hit almost $3.5 million by 2025, and over $5 million by 2033. Growing at just over 5% CEGR.
Okay. And I noticed Argentina's CAGR is even higher, around 5.7%.
That's right. Argentina is projected to reach about $2.5 million by 2025. That higher growth rate, over 5.7%, suggests maybe a particularly dynamic shift there.
Like what? More domestic consumption,
This
investment.
could be increased consumption of packaged goods, maybe new investments in food and beverage.
Yeah.
Again, hard to pinpoint exactly, but the numbers suggest something active is happening.
Interesting. And others in South America, Colombia, Peru, Chile.
All contributing solidly. Colombia looking at $2.1 million by 2025, 4.7% growth. Peru, about $1 million, almost 5% growth. Chile, nearly $1.3 million, with a strong 5.4% CAGR.
And the rest of the region?
The rest of South America adds another $1.3 million or so by 2025, also growing fast at 5.4%. So similar to APAC, broad-based growth across the continent.
Okay, let's keep moving. The Middle East, what's the picture there?
Well-
Often a region of rapid development.
The Middle East market was just over $5 million in 2021.
Right?
Projections take it to over $6.2 million by 2025, and then over $9 million by 2033. That's a regional CGAR of 5.1%.
So again, quite strong growth. Key players.
Saudi Arabia is significant, projected to reach $2.6 million by 2025, growing at over 5.1%. Turkey and the UAE are also showing impressive growth rates.
How impressive.
Turkey, around $1.75 million by 2025, with a CG over 5.4%. And the UAE, $1.8 million, with an even higher growth rate near 5.7%.
Wow. Okay. That does point to significant expansion. Urbanization, maybe. Rising consumption.
Exactly. It fits that narrative.
Yeah.
And you also see Egypt contributing about $1.3 million by 2025, growing at 4.7%. Qatar adds around $0.8 million, growing at 4.8%.
The rest.
The rest of Middle East makes up close to $7.9 million by 2025, though its growth is a bit slower, around 4%.
Okay, got it. Last region then, to complete the world tour. Africa. Emerging market, lots of potential.
Africa's market is smaller currently, but growing. Started around $4.5 million in
Market
2021,
cap.
projected to reach almost $5.7 million by 2025, and just over $8 million by 2033. That's a CAGR of about 4.5%.
So solid growth, if maybe not quite as fast as South America or the Middle East.
Right. The key players identified here are Nigeria and South Africa.
And their numbers.
Nigeria is projected around $1.4 million by 2025, growing at 4.7%. South Africa's larger, about $3.5 million by 2025, and growing faster at just over 5% CAGR.
Okay, interesting that South Africa shows stronger growth there.
Yeah, and the rest of Africa category adds another $3.2 million or so by 2025, with growth around 3.8%.
So even in Africa, this sort of background industry shows consistent expansion.
Precisely. It really does paint a global picture. And summing it up, what's fascinating is, well, two things really stand out from the data.
Which are?
First, how clearly Asia-Pacific emerges as the strongest growth region overall, just consistently outperforming.
Yeah, that came through loud and clear.
And second, within that, India's individual growth rate is just remarkable. That 6.2% CAGR really highlights the scale of change happening there. It's not just slow, steady growth. It's a significant expansion tied to broader economic shifts.
So, okay, pulling this all together, what does it really mean for you listening in? I guess it means that even for something you barely notice, like these little caps,
Wow.
there's this huge, consistently growing, multi-million, soon-to-be over $200 million global market humming along.
Exactly. It just underscores the incredible, often invisible economic activity that supports even the simplest products we use every day.
So we've taken this journey, region by region, through the Gable top cap enclosures market. It's amazing how much detail you can unpack from data like this, isn't it? Seeing individual countries, their specific growth stories, it's way more than just numbers on a page.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And if you connect this back to the bigger picture,
Hmm.
these granular figures, they really help us understand broader trends, don't they?
How so?
Well, things like regional economic development, the complexity of global supply chains, even for something basic. It shows how consumer demand for, say, milk or juice in new packaging, combined with technology changes, creates ripples through these specific but vital global industries.
Yeah, that makes sense. It sort of leaves you with a thought, doesn't it? Like how many other small, overlooked components, parts of things we use daily, have these massive, hidden, multi-million-dollar global markets behind them?
Good question.
What does that tell you about just how interconnected and complex the global economy really is? Stuff happening that we just don't see, hidden in plain sight, makes you think about the journey everyday products take.
It certainly does. And just a final reminder for everyone listening, all the detailed figures and projections we discussed today were sourced from cognitive market research.